Welcome to the Empowered Podcast with Deanna Merlino, an all-encompassing personal development show where I will be sharing with you just how to transform yourself into the best version of you, both inside and out. From wellness, entrepreneurship, spirituality, and manifestation, I'll be showing you exactly how to live your best life. I will be keeping it as real and raw as it gets. So get ready to peel back the layers and really transform yourself under the surface. Because nothing is better than finding your purpose and living this life as your true, authentic self. Welcome back, Empowered fam. I apologize to my loyal listeners who were expecting an episode today. I had retreat this weekend, and when I have retreat, it just takes me a little bit to get back on track, get my energy in check, and for my brain to just turn back on after holding such deep, intensive space for people all weekend. It just takes a girl a hot minute. But we're going to chat all about that today. It is now after 9 o'clock at night. I just had a shower. I'm recording this in jammies. It's been a beautiful day, and we'll talk all about that too. But so you're going to hear this a day late, and it's okay. It's perfectly fine, right? Okay. So there's something that came up to me last week, and I shared it in my story, and I have to reiterate it here. And it's that if there's anything that I want everyone to know, if there's anything that everyone needs to know, is that our word is our wand, and every single thing that we're thinking, every single thing that we're saying, all of the things that we're feeling, we're wishing, we are putting that all out there into the universe. And Source Creator God, our higher power, will always supply. So for better or for worse, be careful what you wish for, right? And for me, it worked out in my favor and very, very quickly. So, okay, story time. Okay, so I had that shamanic clearing at the lodge. And one of the things that I said was, when she asked me, what it is that you want to do, like what is the one thing you want to do with your life? And I said, retreats. Like, I wish I could just do retreats all the time. I desire to do retreats all the time. And she was like, great, because you're going to be doing group retreats pretty much for the rest of forever. And I'm like, amazing. I love that. And I said, you know what? I feel called to start offering one-on-one retreats as well. And she was like, that's great. And totally do it. That's amazing. Just know that group retreats is going to have the most transformation for the most people. So I will focus a lot on group retreats, but one-on-one retreats will be successful and powerful as well. I'm like, all right, amazing. And so I had the intention for myself to start offering one-on-one retreats after I did renovation to one of the rentals at the lodge, at the rental property. It's a studio suite, and it used to be where my parents would stay if the whole lodge was booked out. And it just needed a little bit of renovation. And so we got the appliances in there, and I'm like, okay, when this is done, I will use that as the space for the private one-on-one guests to stay. Well, God had other intentions in mind for me, and I'm so here for it. At first, I will say I freaked a little bit, but I'm so here for it. And that's actually why I'm talking about this episode, because our word is our one. So be careful what you're thinking, feeling, acting out, saying, right? So Britt and I were supposed to have our last retreat of the year, and we had a conversation because literally everybody canceled last minute except for one person. And she is very, very, very pregnant. Her sweet little babe is due very soon. And she drives in from Rhode Island, and it just would have been so much for her for one person. But everything in her was saying, don't go this weekend. And everything in me was saying, we cannot cancel. And so she was like, we were both very firm, and not in a bad way. We have such a great relationship like that. But I'm like, Britt, everything in me is saying, do not cancel this lady. And Britt is like, well, everything in me is saying, I should not be there this weekend. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to do. We cannot cancel. Like I will not cancel on this woman. But Britt cooks all of our delicious, amazing, incredible food, and your girl can't cook. So I'm like, we are 2 days out from a treat. There's no way that like we can make something work here with me feeding people. It just will not go well. And it's really last minute to try and get, a good caterer. And so she was like, you know what, Dee, this is your moment. This is your moment to do one-on-one retreats. This is something that you've been desiring to do. And this is it. Like, how about you just do it? And I literally went silent for a second, radio silence. And I'm like, I need to sit with that. I need to sit with that. I need to see how that feels because everything in me was firing off in fear, but also a such big expansiveness at the same time. And this is where it's so important to have discernment when it comes to anything, right? Like a partner, a new partner, a new job offering, a new business offering, a new, hiring a new coach or a new mentor or paying for a program. Like if you are scared, that's natural, right? Your intuition is very silent and a lot more quiet than the fear. So, like, dig in a little bit. And so I'm like, let me sit with this. But then as I'm like, you know what? No, that you're right. Like, this is it. But let me see if I can figure out some sort of food source because her and I both know I can't cook for people. And so I reached out to a caterer that recently hosted the intimate group women's VIP coaching day that we did. And she was unavailable because she had a huge wedding, but she referred someone who I actually knew of because one of my previous podcast guests, Kaylee Daniel, and one of my previous retreat guests, turn retreat facilitator, has talked about this woman before because she helps her cook. And I was like, you know what? If Kaylee trusts her and now my caterer for events trusts her, I'm going to trust her. And so I did that. And the one guest that we had was vegan and gluten free. And that's what this lady specialized in. So literally it was just lining up so perfectly. And as soon as I'm like, Britt, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. It was as if everything fell into place. I was not scared. I was not stressed. I was not overwhelmed. I'm like, this is a last minute change, but everything is perfect. And I will be straight up honest. If that was like my first or second retreat, I would have been shitting my pants and I totally would have canceled. But I think just offhand, I'm pretty sure I'm on retreat 12 now. And so it was just time and it felt so good and I was so ready. And so I just knew. So I shared about that on Instagram, not the story, but that like everything we desire is available for us. And what we put out there, we will receive it back. So make sure it's positive and something good and not something negative because you're going to get either, right? You will attract back either belief. And so knowing that I was stepping into one-on-one retreat hosting, and that's something that I have had in my mental vision board. I don't have a physical vision board, but in my mental vision board for a little while now. And I said it was going to be something that I was going to do this year. And it was time, it was done. And I'm like, you know what? It was just this powerful transformational moment of every single thing that I desire happens. Every single thing that I set my intention for comes to fruition. I am a master manifester. And I'm not just saying that to pat myself on the back while I am patting myself on the back because I truly manifest every flippin' thing that I desire. But we are all master manifestors because we were made to manifest our entire reality because we are a spark, a fractal of Source Creator God. And Source Creator God is a master manifester because he created it all. And we are a fractal of that. We are a spark of that higher consciousness, that higher power, that source of it all. We are a piece of the divine and therefore we are master manifestors as well. But people have told us we aren't. People have told us that's wrong. People have told us we aren't powerful. People have told us that's not how it works. That's not right. Like all the things. Stop listening. If there's anything I can tell you that you're going to take from this podcast, stop listening to everyone else and what society is telling you. You are a master manifester and you truly can manifest every single thing that you desire. Truly. And I continue to be, and I commit myself to be living proof of that. And as that happened, I just knew that a massive level up was coming. And when there's a massive level up coming for me, that means there's a massive level up coming for all of my clients. And they know that too. Like it's a matter of like energetic osmosis. If you are in the downstream, if you are in my realm, you are going to benefit from my work. You are going to benefit from my energetic belief. And so not only are you going to have your own beliefs that I'm helping you with those, rewiring those limiting beliefs and relaying your programming to a higher, more aligned way. Yes, you're doing all that work yourself too, but you're also benefiting from what I'm doing too. Like, get too close to my world, stick around for a while, you're going to fuck around and find out in the best way possible, right? Like your life will get so damn good. As I said that my video had been recording for 10 minutes and 10 seconds. Love that little synchronistic affirmation from the universe, a little God wink. But this actually feels like a really good time just to throw in there. I am still taking clients for my Rocket Round Mini Mentorship. If you have not heard anything about it, listen to the last episode where I explain everything about this. And if you want more information, you can message me. You can email me in the show notes. You can message me on my Instagram, the Empowered Coach 333. So we can figure out what's best for you, or you can go right in the show notes and see the information and book it for yourself. But I'm going to be running that through the last day of the month, which as I pull up my calendar real fast, that is Sunday, the 30th. And this is getting close proximity, which there's nothing like close proximity with me, for a minimum of 3 months. You can do it as long as you want for a banging price point. So like now is totally the time to jump into my world. And so after I came to this realization and felt this energetic shift in this moment, so much started unfolding for myself and my family. Really incredible things are happening for my husband financially and us. Like we forget. No, I don't forget. I know this. I'm very aware of this, but I feel like people forget that when you're manifesting, you don't just manifest through yourself, you're manifesting through the people in your world. Like we do not need to know how or when or why, and we will not know how or when or why. Those are the aspects from the universe to decide. And we just have to be open to all the things that we desire, especially financial abundance and wealth and prosperity and ease and freedom, to come from different avenues, not just ourselves. We don't have to be the ones slaving away all the time. Like just be open and the universe will present you everything that you desire through the people and the circumstances and the events and the opportunities around you in your world automatically. It will come to you. It doesn't matter how. And you don't need to know how. And you just have to be okay with that. For a long time, I was stuck in no, I have to do it. I'm pounding my chest like a gorilla. Like, no, I don't have to do that. I have nothing to prove. I am just a divine, worthy being, just as I am, ready to receive all of the goodness that Source Creator God wants to offer me. And I am ready and open, hand is open. I am here to receive. And as I do less, I receive more. As I lean into my feminine energy to be receptive and receiving and in flow and at ease, I receive so much more. So today, let's see. Okay. So post retreat, it was the most incredible experience. Like all the retreats are amazing and it feels so, so good and fulfilling to see several people leave totally transformed post retreat because no one ever leaves the same. But there is something different about spending every waking second with one person, one-on-one, answering all of their burning desires, all of their burning questions, answering everything they want to know. Like I'm just an open book and providing all the deep healing and getting to hear and feel and know their wounds and their pain, and also tap into that which they desire, and also really tapped into her own natural gifts. She was so intuitive. She just had no trust in herself. She did not believe in herself. And therefore she was shutting herself off and down and closing herself up from all the goodness and the pleasure and the freedom and the prosperity that she's deserving, as we all are, of receiving. And all of that changed in 3 days. all of it right before my eyes. It was like day one was different from day two, was different from day three. And literally right before we left, she got all the confirmation that she needed naturally because she was ready. She was ready. Magic happened. We did all of the work in 3 days and she left a different human. She's a mama of two, pregnant. It was so beautiful. It was all just so beautiful. So now I come home, get back to life. And today was the very first day that we had our nanny. And I love Savannah so much. She's been a guest on our podcast. She's been a retreat guest, a retreat facilitator. And my son absolutely adores her. And she's a nanny. And so it was just like a perfect lineup. So she finally started today. Christopher had the absolute best time. They adore each other. I went and got I've never had a facial before, but I woke up this morning and my body was killing me from a weekend of just pouring into someone else. Um, and from 9 a.m. to midnight every day. And so I'm like, I need a massage. I got in somewhere and I'm like, you know what? I'm bumping this up to massage and a facial. So I had my very first facial today. It was incredible. And it's so funny. So the amount of money that I made this weekend, I then had to deduct the cost of food. And I actually manifested a check in the mail that was totally unexpected that covered the exact cost of the food down to the dollar amount. And then I'm like, cool. So that evens itself out. And then for this retreat, she's amazing. I had Lexi come in and she did yoga each day and provided a sound bath because I am not comfortable providing a sound bath as yet. And she's a massage therapist as well. So the guests got that. And so I compensated her for coming in. And then today, someone bought a program for me for the literally to the exact dollar. You can't make this up. I received that payment. And so all cost of the retreat was canceled out and I just made 100% profit, which was so amazing. So I was like on cloud nine. It felt so good to just to have the freedom to leave the house and do what I wanted to do today. My husband and I had a lunch together, which was amazing. And then I went grocery shopping all on my own. And yeah, it was just the perfect day. And then also, today my husband ended up manifesting a large lump sum of money separate from that he already manifested the other day. So just like everything is falling into place. I was talking to Britt on my way to my massage and I told her, I just feel like I'm finally ready to fully surrender into my feminine and fully receive help from everyone. Instead of carrying this burden of I have to do it all, like finally having a nanny, even just one day a week is going to totally change everything. Getting help with retreat, like just where I need help, I have nothing to prove. I am done with the trying to prove that I have to do it all. That leads to nothing but overwhelm, burnout, and resentment, right? And lack of energy. And my body feels like crap. Like my body feels so good. I've been going to chiropractic. I'm going to go to acupuncture, the massage, the facial. Like I have been taking care of my body because my energy, my frequency, my knowledge, my all that's great. But if your physical vessel is unwell, that does no good. And so I'm ready to balance both of them. And it felt very much like the time while I was on that massage table, I was getting the wildest downloads of different visions that I forgot about, painful memories of why part of me was still holding on to this old having to prove myself and not fully leaning into my feminine. And let me tell you, the masculine is so important. I will always preach this. It is a very strong pillar of manifesting. You need to take divine inspired action. But again, divine inspired action, not action because you feel like you have to, or you have to work hard, or you have to prove yourself. That is not it. And I realized all these reasons why I was still holding on to this. And I also felt the moment when I was getting the very clear confirmation. And it very much felt like from my ancestors. Like it's time, you're ready, you did it. And I left that massage table and that experience truly ready, just so ready. And I know that everything I'm not going to say is going to change because everything is already changed. I made a massive shift. I quantum leaped. I'm on a new timeline. The ease, it gets to be easy for me and my family from this point forward. Oh, while we're here, talking about help, I hired a social media manager. And so like I forget sometimes when I'm like, oh, I'm doing it all myself. One of the things, and when you're investing in help, it feels scary to your ego. Most of the time anyhow. And I forget like my podcast has been fully produced from day one from a podcast company because I knew from the get-go, like I would never have the energy for it. And so I technically have had a team in that regard. But it's just my podcast. So it's not stuff that I see. Well, I finally hired a podcast manager. Her name is Holly. Her company is called Vibe Media Management. She's so sweet. And I'm just ready. I only want social media to be used by me for my stories where I love to share, family moments when I do share them, and like fun spiritual memes and just stuff that feels natural. I really haven't been posting my work and my business because it doesn't feel good to me to do. I've known that I wanted someone else to do it for me. Like I know that I need to have people need to know what I do when they come to my Instagram page. They need to know my offerings. They need to know my coaching and mentorship containers. I just didn't want to do them. And so now it'll still fully be me. I will still be taking care of all the DMs. It'll still all be me, but she is going to post twice a week strictly about my offerings. And so it's just like, you know what? Receive the help. Let it be easy. Let all of the goodness come to me instead of trying to shoulder the burden myself and feeling the negative energetic impact of that. And so, yeah, everything's changing, my friends. And I desire nothing more than for you all to come along with me. So if you are ready to experience your own ease and peace and freedom and joy and love and abundance and prosperity and wealth, come along for the ride. Set the intention. Let the universe know that's where you're going. And if you're looking for a mentor along the way, if you're ready to take this journey together, let's do it together. You have a week left to jump into my Rocket Round mentorship. It's going to be a total game changer. The clients that I have within my life coaching program and my mentorship program totally would attest to the impact of these offerings. And so I would love to have you in it. If you listen to any of this episode and you're like, yes, that's me. I need that. I want that. I desire that. Then let's chat, because that means your intuition, your higher self, your soul self is saying, go in that direction, lean in, trust, make the investment, let's link arms and let's do it. So with that being said, I'm sending you all of my love. I hope you have an amazing day, an amazing week, and I'll see you next time on the Empowered with Deanna Merlino podcast. Thank you all so much for listening to today's episode. If you want to dive deeper in with me, you can follow me on Instagram at theempoweredcoach333. You can also check out everything I have to offer on my website, which is deannamerlino.com. Whatever platform you are listening on, do your girl a favor and please rate and subscribe. This means so much to me and is going to help the show grow and reach so many other people. I am so grateful that you are here with me on this journey of growth and self-empowerment. I cannot say that it will always be easy, but I do promise that it will always be worth it. Stick with me and let's start living as the version of ourselves that we were truly meant to be, because the world is waiting on your gifts and you deserve to live the life of your wildest dreams and beyond. So friends, let's get empowered.